start from the power mindset change. I think Bob set the tone. The question is, how do we bring about that change? We heard yesterday a lot of talk about the ecosystem, collaboration, partnerships. So indeed, we need to have almost all the parties in that ecosystem together in order to influence that mindset change. So let me say that mindset change starts from here. We gathered here. We need to start changing our minds towards capital markets, how it can help create wealth for our countries in Africa and also the citizens. Yes, I believe sincerely that capital markets can create wealth for us in Africa, but with a little caveat, in the sense that yesterday we had a lot of discussions, various issues surrounding the development of our markets were discussed, various solutions came up, and one thing that struck me was the fact that one of the top panelists in the first panel mentioned the fact that we do have almost fairly a good structure in place in terms of the market structure, technology, and all that. But what we lack is how to accelerate the implementation of the various solutions that we have come up with. And that is something that we must clearly look at carefully going forward. Then I also say caveat because, one, no matter what we do, the economic environment is a major factor. We need to have a very sound, healthy economic environment in order for capital markets to thrive. Without that, it's going to be extremely difficult. And that is why we need the policymakers also here all the time. And those who take the decisions, the entrepreneurs, the regulators, etc. Because we need to make sure that we have a very sound, healthy economy in order for capital markets to strive. Then also create the world that we are talking about. Then secondly, we always discount the issue of the political environment, but it's also very key. Investors like to invest when the political environment is very stable, and as well as the economic environment that I talked about. These are two key fundamental issues that we need to make sure that we have them in place.
It's about mindset. And to be frank, my mindset was very negative towards going public.
Yeah.
And after many consultation with Marlene Street Forest and her team members, I still was not ready to go. Being a private company, and I just never wanted to go to the market. I remember we had an encounter in 2017 at one of the conferences, and she made it clear that I would go to the market and become listed in that same year. And I did laugh at her very badly. I laughed. I am embarrassed to say, I because I was never going to go. But what happened? We were in the process of creating a vision plan that would take us for the next 5 or 10 years. And all the pillars were in place. But one thing we recognized after that meeting, that conference, that I didn't have a financial model that was going to take me to where we want to go to. And then I sat with my team and said, look, I think we're going to investigate going to the market. And we went to the market December that year, 2017. I think it's 19th of December, we were listed. We raised just over $2 million US. We had a pretty good valuation of the company at the time. What has happened since then is that the company has moved from strength to strength. The $2 that we went to the market as the value of the share climbed within 2 years to about $38.
Wow. Well done.
the value of the company moved from just about $1 billion to $23 billion that period. We moved our staff complement from just about 80 to 240 as we speak. We moved into manufacturing, and so we manufacture products now in Jamaica, PVC pipes and so on. We have moved also into other areas like renewable energy, solar energy. We have formed partnerships with not only local persons, but like Siemens and Philips and those people. We have now become their partners in Jamaica. Our ability to attract, just by going to the market, persons of high quality to work in our company has increased. And so we have many persons who have, worked and achieved great things in other industries who we are able to attract. And so what we are here to do is to tell the story.
Picking up from what some of the speakers have said and picking up from what Dr. Malin said, if you look at most of our economies in sub-Saharan Africa in particular, but I think across the continent in general, we're used to this traditional way of investing whereby you get a bit of money, you save up, you buy a piece of land, and hopefully maybe you farm or build a house for rent, etc. And the challenge that most of us face is that you get a piece of land, but then you don't have much more money to develop it, and it becomes trapped capital. And this is a reality for most of Tanzanians. And there's nothing wrong with owning lands, and traditionally land has always been a very valuable asset to us as Africans. But what you end up having is an asset that doesn't produce for you. You have this theoretical thinking about the value that it has, but you haven't really valued it. So probably it doesn't even have a title, so you can't even access financing from a bank. So it doesn't do much for you. And one of the things that we've been trying to do as the exchange, working with our brokers, working with the regulator as well, is try to educate Tanzania that, look, if you have just 10,000 shillings, which is about $4, you can actually buy some shares. And lo and behold, if you look, for example, at DSC, because we are self-listed, just in a span of a year, our share price has actually more than doubled. So one of the things that we try to tell common Tanzania is that, look, if you had put your money, just the 2 million that you used to purchase that piece of land, if you had put it in this particular share at this point in time, you would have had 4 million. And the good thing is you can always do that in piecemeals, and over time your portfolio grows. And that's a messaging that we really need to bring down to the common man across the continent, is that participating in wealth creation doesn't have to take a whole lot of effort. It's not something that is just available to the elites, which is a common misconception across the continent. When the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange started, it started on the back of policy changes that we were making as a country, moving from a socialist economy where everything was run by the government, owned by the government, to a market-driven economy. And the government made a decision to privatize a number of state-owned entities and take them public to the stock exchange. And if you look at a number of those, if you look, for example, at our largest capitalized company, NMB, a commercial bank, which previously used to be part of a state-owned commercial bank, which was restructured and split into different entities. And NMB started as a bank that was tracking really a microfinance segment. And everybody used to look down on it, etc. But after going public and through strategic initiatives that they've made, they've grown to become the largest capitalized company on the exchange. And I think it still is at some point actually became the largest capitalized bank in East Africa, even surpassing the likes of KCB Group.
Africans of the continent, we are not short of resources, but what we lack often is opportunities and information to know how to mine those opportunities. The stock market provides a very good platform for wealth creation. It's often that most of our people don't know that they can make money without having to own companies or run companies, for that matter. Not all of us as Africans are gifted to run companies. Most of our population don't know how to run a company. but they can buy stock and make money. It's possible that you can get rich without working hard. So financial, it's possible. You just invest your 5 shillings, as my colleague has said in Tanzania. You just put it in a NMB bank, and it keeps multiplying and giving you a dividend. Imagine if you did, using the example of Tanzania, you sold off that land and get the money and pack it into stocks, and you go and enjoy your holiday in Mozambique, as they showed us earlier. It's possible. So financial liberty, financial freedom is possible for Africans if we wake up to the cause of finding ways to doing it. But of course, there's a lot of ifs. We still have, as Bob said, we still have very few stocks on the market. Not all of us will own the 10 listed in Rwanda. Not all of us will own, because these companies can only go so far, given their very nature. I think the Andrew question of creating capital, can we start looking at what Africa as a continent, what we have, and create businesses around the giftings that we have? For instance, the mining sector, tourism, logistics. For instance, we speak about the cost of transportation between one country and another if you're exporting goods. Is it possible that you can invest in a railway for African markets? And can we own shares in that railway? Is there a business for it? There's a lot that needs to be worked on. So to create conglomerates, companies that are strong, that are cross-border, that extract value or create wealth and create value from different markets. We stop looking at silos, creating. If Tanzania has made so much progress, good progress in banking, can we create a Pan-African banking group? If Equity has done so, can we take it to all the other markets, so be able to serve the markets? As my colleague from Tanzania said, most often we end up becoming the same customers of the companies we invested in.